Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The manhunt on St. Thomas ends. Governor John DeYoung makes a statement after the Cokie Point tragedy, and a walk into the future of our history. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, the manhunt ended this afternoon for Steve Tyson, the driver of the red Honda Civic involved in the Cokie Point shootout yesterday that left 2 persons dead. Just a little more than a day has passed since shots rang out at Cokie Point, bringing the homicide number in the territory to 44. After the shootout, Steve Tyson abandoned his vehicle and the territory-wide manhunt ensued for the double homicide suspect. Public Information Officer Melody Rames updates us on the capture of Steve Tyson.
Police on St. Thomas arrested 22-year-old Stephen Tyson at about 12:08 on Tuesday, July 13th, and charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder, possession of a dangerous weapon during the commission of a crime of violence, first-degree assault, third-degree assault, and reckless endangerment. The charges were filed in connection with the shooting deaths of 14-year-old Liz Marie Perez Chaparro and 18-year-old Shahid Joseph that occurred on Monday, July 12th in the area of Cokie Point Beach. Police issued a wanted poster soon after the shooting, advising the community that Tyson was suspected of the murder. Assistant Police Commissioner Raymond L. Hyndman, along with members of the Major Crime and Criminal Investigation Bureau, were in contact with family members of Tyson and were instrumental in securing Tyson's surrender. Tyson was held without bail pending his court appearance.
Thanks, Melody Rames of the Virgin Islands Police Department. The tragedy of this case involves the 14-year-old caught in the crossfire of this Cokie Bay incident. We now know the name of the unfortunate victim as 14-year-old Liz Marie Perez Chaparro, a tourist from Puerto Rico who was traveling in a safari bus through Cokie Point at the time of the shootout between Shahid Joseph and Steve Tyson. Liz Marie suffered a gunshot wound to the side of her body and died of her injuries. We have also learned that Liz Marie and her family were celebrating her birthday with a cruise aboard the carnival ship Victory. In a side note, as Wes and I were deployed to St. Thomas to cover the story, I could spy the ship Victory from the window of the seaplane. It was still docked at Charlotte Amalia Harbor. The Shapiro family has been flown back to their home of Puerto Rico, and it's now been a horrible tragedy to befall the Chaparro family and a horrible tragedy to befall the territory, one that's not being ignored by Governor John DeYoung. Here now is his statement addressing the violence and the unfortunate events of the last day.
The tragic incident which took place at Cokie Point resulted in the deaths of 2 young people is a shock to all of us here in the Virgin Islands. Truly a tragedy. We grieve for them and for their families. All Virgin Islanders share in the sorrow of such a senseless loss of life. One of today's victims was a young girl, 14-year-old Liz Marie Perez Chaparro, a visitor to our island who was innocently caught in the crossfire that resulted in another victim, 18-year-old Shahid Joseph, and other unknown persons who used the occasion of a funeral to wage street justice and settle their differences. Today's fatal shooting is yet another reminder that we as a community must step up our efforts against those who have chosen violence as a way of life. It is not civilized and it has no place in our society. Today's tragedy was caused, as have other acts of violence, by those who believe that they can take the law into their own hands. But they cannot and they will not. Within minutes of the shooting, police took 3 persons into custody for questioning and have circulated information across the community about a possible suspect who was driving the vehicle which opened fire on Mr. Joseph. This trend of senseless killings by some of our young people will not stop until parents and guardians stop being enablers, stop ignoring the fact that they are bringing illegal guns into their homes or accepting the angry behavior that they exhibit and so easily act upon. The police continue to do their jobs as we see increases in the number of guns taken off the streets and as is witnessed by the quick action in taking into custody potential suspects. What we experience today is a result of many years of neglect, which we can no longer tolerate. Everyone must rise up against those who continue to wage violent crimes on our streets. We must offer them no aid, no protection, no cover, and no mercy. We must close ranks against those who have neither respect for law nor for life. With your continued help, we will bring to an end to the violence that many have chosen as a way of life.
Thanks, Governor John DeYoung of the Virgin Islands. And in other news, many of us needing to apply or renew for their passport will find an increase in fees, as we learn in this piece. Let's take a look.
Good day. My name is Barbara Coy. I'm the director of the Passport Office on St. Croix. I'm just here to let you know, as of today, July 13th, the passport fees have increased. The increase is not something that's done here on in the Virgin Islands only. The increase is nationwide. So on the mainland, the fees are the same. The passport fees are regulated by the Department of State and not the VI government. The office hours here at the Passport Office is 8 to 3:45 in the afternoon. We stop promptly at 3:45. I'm advising anyone, if you know you're going to travel, please come in, apply for your passport as soon as possible. Like I said, the fees have increased as of today. The fees for an adult first time is $135. If you wish to apply for the card with that, it's going to be $165. The fees for renewal for an adult is $110. If you wish to apply for the card with it, it's going to be $140. The fees for minors have also increased. It is now $105, and when I say minors, I mean under the age of 16. That is now $105, and if you wish to apply for the card with that, it's going to be an additional $15, so it's going to be $120. You can also apply for the card by itself. If you already have a passport, that will be $30. If you want to apply for the card only and you don't have a passport, you can also do that. For adults, that's going to be $55. For minors, it's going to be $40. And if you have a renewal, like I said, the fee is additional to the passport fee is an additional $30. Please give us a call if you have any more questions. The office phone number is 773-6449. You can ask for extension 3418, 3419. Again, I do want to let you know these fees are territory-wide. They're also national, okay? The fees are the same here and on the mainland.
And when we come back from this break, I take an education walk with Elossie Davis. Stay with us.